The very touristy. So I went to the issue. The Prince and then. Yeah.
Right, so we'll move on to the last section of this morning. And I'm going to try and give you a bit of an introduction to automated image processing now. So I'll talk about through a few slides and then we'll try and use a bit of software on this as well. So why do we want to automate our image processing? So we all managed to process images quite well there. But yeah, why do we want to do it in an automated way? And the kind of main thing is to create consistent and reproducible results. So, I mean, you'll have noticed the differences between how I processed it and how you processed it are quite different. It generates slightly different images. And that's not ideal when you're trying to get reproducible data. You want to be able to open each image and have it be processed in exactly the same way every single time by every single user that tries to process it. And sort of linked into that is being able to standardize these processing protocols. The order in which that you carry out all of those processing steps, the parameters that you use through those processing steps, all of them need to be standardized kind of within the community really, to create that really consistent way of doing things. It also saves a lot of time. It maybe took you 10 minutes, 5 minutes to process the image there. If you've got hundreds of images to go through, that then starts to add up as quite a lot of time. And can you definitely get it exactly the same between each of those? Possibly not. And it shows objectivity, right? So if you automate your image processing, a lot of the time you're not actually seeing each of the images until it's processed. It means you can't introduce any of your own biases in how you actually process that data. You can't start looking for particular things that you want to find if the computer is doing it for you. So there are quite a few automated AFM image analysis software. Bioenginyeria, which we were just using, has a scripting capability. It's called PyGui that you can use. It is okay. I believe there's an update to it coming soon, but at the minute it's using Python 2, which is really difficult. But yeah, PyGui can be used to script Bioenginyeria used. There's also a software called Nanolox, which is developed by the University of Leeds. And then we have TopStats, which is the one that I'm talking you through, because that's the one that we use. They all work in sort of slightly different ways, but yeah, the aim is to process a lot of AFM data at once. So I think the easy thing to do is just for us to start using it. This is where it usually goes wrong for most people, so it might take us the most time. Has anyone, just as a question, used virtual environments on their computer before? Yes, a few. Okay. So have you got Anaconda or Miniconda installed? No. Okay. Yes, some people have. Right, okay. So that's the first thing to do. Everyone can do this. Mac or Windows, install Miniconda. Do that. That's the first thing to do. And then let me know when everyone's installed Miniconda. And we can move on from there. Yes. Yeah. No. Can you not install things on your computer?
No, I can't, but just because the company computer Anaconda has different policies for companies. I'm not allowed to have
Okay.
I didn't take one.
Can you do it without a virtual environment? I mean, you can do it without a virtual environment. You just need.
I can.
I mean, if it's entirely in Python, will you work with like Colab, Jupyter Notebooks?
You can. So it needs to be Python version 3.1.
So you could do that. I think you have version control.
Any virtual environment works as long as it's got Python. Yeah. So if you have other things that have that, then do that.
Yeah.
So once you have installed whatever you're installing, you need to create a virtual environment. So if you are using Conda, if you're on Windows, you need to go into the Anaconda PowerShell prompt, I think it's called.
Yep.
If you're on Mac, just go into Terminal and type this first line here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what will shift between people to understand social work? Okay, so yeah, you want to just okay. Yeah, you've got it solved already. Okay. Yeah. You should just be able to create a virtual environment then using Conda and create that exactly like that. Yeah. Is that unique Conda? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. It should just go on to install. So yeah, just so go there.
Like a bigger.
Yeah. So what so that looks different when we both look like this with each. Yours came up like that and yours came up like that.
Did you
No, we just your thing to look at.
So I said on this one here. If you go, yeah, if you go down, yeah. You've got it. Oh. Or like the but it's not what have to be. Oh, it seems to be okay. In theory, it should work quite well on this time. Is it correct? Was it very last day? And with the reason that one is called Windows, so we can see that. It's all like whether they do it's the changes that. Okay. 3 years back.
Just install it.
Oh, you got that. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go.
And I had done.
Yeah.
Things that
So you're installing that.
yeah.
Yeah. GUI. Have you picked the right one, by the way, as well? Are you on that? Yes. And you're,
I'm still instant.
oh, you're on to stop them, so sorry. Is yours going?
Yeah.
Thing
Yeah,
happen?
I installed
Excellent. You.
Yeah.
Yours going as well? It's yours going up? Yeah, I know. A lot better than expected. So you installed it yet? You installed it yet?
I'm both. I'm one computer ahead of you guys.
I know. I'm both systems.
Yeah. He just stole it.
So the
I think people. Yes. Billy. Want to try it? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can just watch it. So just that first line, so content create. So that creates a virtual environment on top of SaaS.
Yeah.
So we run everything within a virtual environment. That's got that.
oh.
Yep.
Not just such a good call.
Did you create a virtual environment with the right flex version?
My traditional version. Oh, it's a space station. Dashes. Or dash me.
So this is different virtual environments that we've got. It's not a list.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I have to stop it.
Yeah, I don't. We've not tried doing it outside of the virtual environment.
I'm on the same version of Shift and it's working.
Is yours as well?
Same version.
I've used it within another tab.
No, I did it with and Where is the payment? What's it going to
There's app stores. It's much better than the it's like I think 5 stars also like I have 5 stars. You yes, and I've been very wondered by this because I can't see so but then if you get the work is the next idea it's inside Python and then you get the way.
So is the backbone that's done by
Did you do the convert through there?
Like have you opened it in the record the plot or in the
No, it's not basket. That's all.
oh yeah.
You scrap when you. Yeah. Because so you can list the better. It's equally difficult to install the scripting as well.
Because you have it, that's it. Yes, I think I there's a thing going on. I think there's like a prank war. And what they're doing now is they're trying to, this is the latest of they're trying to fly these offers for that part. Specific in his phone. I share just so then by hiding they stick it to the Like you have this one time, like he just every time I come to the office and I let up and there's like a bunch of cards. What do you
Yeah, I think it's actually Porsche. So have you done the install? That's actually installed. When I inside, once you're inside the version bar, you click install. So install.
Is there a particular reason to use 5.3.1? Because that's not the latest.
No, we just find the packages that it needs. It's the most stable. If you like outside,
I think cleaning the cat was named because I just it's complex.
Thank you.
When we still downside, you will see the stuff came. So you get things in that. Maybe it's expire. First thing that I don't know if you can check. I know there's a man that's complicated, but everybody I can read check.
Is it online? Actually,
Yes, it was. Always for my
already okay.
yeah, that's is that after the install? Yeah. It's not looking good, yes. Okay, it seems like everything. You create also. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Is everyone nearly there now? Yeah, okay, I'll move on to the next step, and then if anyone's still stuck on service, then I can come and help. So the way we control TopStats and tell it what processing steps to take is through what we call the config file, the configuration file. So you need to create one of them. I can actually show you this rather than just put it on the screen. So, okay, so I'm in the same place here where I've activated my virtual environment and everything into TopStats. So I'll try and make this bigger. Okay, so to create a config file that we need. Just need this line of code into your virtual environment, into your terminal. And start doing things. Start. And when it's done, it should say a sample configuration file has been written to my. That work for everyone? That works.
It's done.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, so then you need to find where that configuration file is.
Where is it?
It'll probably be where you install it. So it'll be. You might just have to do a search
Yeah.
if you can't find it. Just mind.
Yeah.
On YamL. So. We can change it. So where it's in my config, you can comment and change.
I mean, it should create the file in the directory you're in.
It should create in the directory you're in, but it depends what directory you're in when you.
And you could, like, you could just change that.
You could create a directory, yeah. But it'll. Yeah, you can change directory. That makes more sense.
So we find the file and then we open it as text.
Yeah. So actually the step, I've maybe skipped a step there and I'll make it a little bit tricky. If before you do the create config set, if you change your directory in the terminal to just, so that's my documents path. If you just change, just copy in a path that you know where it is, otherwise you'll lose. So that's just the CD and change directory. Then the path that you want to point it to. So on Windows, it will look slightly different to that. On Mac, it'll look like that. And then once you've changed directory there, then run the create config line. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe if you can't find it, just go back into your.
I think I found it, but I must.
Could have created a new one. Yeah. That's point to the perfect.
And then that's what it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so yeah, you can open yours. So this is how we're going to everything. So we have the directory where you get to risk, the directory equals to our employee, causing your own risk. Then the filtering steps are basically that brief processing. So we have row lines, we have thresholds, flattened, Gaussian filling size, you want to apply to it. Scar removal. Then grinds here is grind finding. So it's masking, grinds that we saw. Then everyone's like these things as well.
This is just for training the new side, like.
This isn't the training, it's basically for process feed items.
Okay, so not for training the.
Yep.
We all just use one.
Yeah. Yes, you can import a unit. There's a. But what I just was, oh, was there anything to do?
Yeah.
So if you find one, so in inverse directory, here's the out, the start of that. Yeah. Yeah. Do that line first, and then do that line. Yeah. So on top of that's now installed instead. Do that. Then it'll move it to you might not then it's on it'll install it.
That's what I think 5 minutes still.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. So I can copy that into this area.
And just okay, that's very.
Yeah. And then if you're that's it. And then you can save that control set. If you go back to the channel, the command to run is
So we have loaded anything for
loaded in.
units.
No, we don't need any units. But that's just play plus 0.
Okay, so just like the images.
It's exactly the same as what we did when we just all so it's some stats. Right. Find it.
Or other people. Just the 5 minutes.
So where it's yeah, so base structure is so where it says dot slash, you go delete the dot slash.
This is a here where you just start
Under. So if you delete that. Okay, so you just yes, the comment.
in the file name, as in like my config, like should I put in the path?
No, just whatever your config file is.
Just the name.
So then this
Yeah.
if that's
The base with this.
where you're in yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you download stuff on the Google Drive earlier, for the pattern platform, yeah, and then put the output.
Okay.
And what it'll do is search the folder that your base directory is in for any SPM files that were in that.
Well, I can.
That's all.
I've done. So we'll see. Oh, I need to have.
Yeah, you got
one.
one.
So I just check.
Just right.
No, I said.
So set the best direction to. Oh, no, it's. Change the best structure of the application. Your students.
It can be a folder within folders, it just searches through all of the folders within a path for any SPM files.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have created a config file and managed to open the config file, sorry, it's quite hard to see, but this is what the config file should look like. So at the top, we define the directory where our data is and where we want to output the data to. We can define the type of file we're looking for, so it can look for SPM files, it can look for KCK files, .y files, there's loads of different files that you can look for. The channel we want to process, so we can look at the height channel, we can look at the adhesion channel, like all the channels as well, we can input there. And then these filtering steps are the steps that we basically ran through in Boolean this morning. So that the thresholding, the flattening, the row alignment, the scar removal, and the Gaussian filter are all there. And then we also have grain finding, which you can do based on height thresholds, which are tier. Just looking at anything over 0.8 nanometers there. And area thresholds to look at different sizes. So we can look at anything that's over 100 nanometers squared, but less than 1200 nanometers squared, or 12,000 nanometers squared. So once you've inputted the directory to where your AFM data is and where you want the output to go to, save this config file, and then run this bottom line here with the name of the config file that you have created. And then hopefully it should start processing your images and should give you a folder within that where you define the output to be full of processed images.
Yeah.
Problem. I'm not really in that.
So yeah, there's two columns.
I know. I know, right? So yeah. West Lane away. Jones, though, that on the way. Just let them know that you're processed by anything. Chris copy.
Yeah, it is all done.
I think that the extension of the.
Oh, I know we've got.
Like that.
Is this for the east of us?
That was similar to what we have with. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. They're doing better.
Yeah, it's more like. Anyone.
Did you change directory to do?
Is that yeah, was I was adding to.
Yes, I mean.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really realize sort of like, and when I run it. No.
Also, what is said, no, it's not for the John. It's not because I just wish to say that everyone else was. That's the name. But I'm not going to be no. I don't think that's fine. So, which is, I guess,
Yes, I think, yes, there's always. I'm very curious to this. Yes. Yeah.
like, I think it redirects to the functions which they have to take it. Yeah, now, yeah, your beach is bigger, like the national would be like every people today would be. Yes, it's not just another side.
Yes.
Oh, you sure.
It's like back.
See that it's not allowed.
So maybe they detect the.
Great. Yeah, so it's built in.
Yes, I think it's.
So it creates a massive image.
Yeah, that's fine.
Single pixel trace.
And then it converts it to a slide.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's all.
The two. And in the future, which is that role should have done. Similar thing, yes. But what you might have to do is change the parameters depending on what you're processing and what you're looking at.
So we will.
So it might be a bit-
Yeah, basically from this like very well. Yeah.
Or data training data. Find out contributions from the
Just everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, they give us a training group for that. We just get some.
first version of the answer.
Yeah, but this won't really. It's not everything about and it's satisfied. Yeah. You know, it's rising for us.
Because now I think you should don't the code.
Yeah.
Actually, there's not saying anything that's here.
Oh, no, but then- It's weird. I think that means. And you could call me.
You've done different stuff. No, I think it's good. That's why. Yes.
No, it says.
First, I'll start with yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, it's done.
One is invited.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah, that's an outpoint for you, don't well, then you need rather than
It's another one. I went to because.
So they want to
One.
go. It's not the. Yeah. Yeah, he said he's told that. Maybe he would check different names. Just.
It's just like, yeah. So basically,
We lost this.
So
Maybe the guy was something.
That's not one. Use the memo.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, wait a minute.
So now we already have this.
Just even like, just. Did you just scroll through your? Organizations. I know who that is.
Of course.
Yeah, because I've never used that in person or the nights.
You might get That's the best term for it. You delete the dot.
So you want to find out, but it's.
Your players here.
Okay, I think so.
So, alright. So the ability to square the copy. Yeah, so you're right. I think in the building, I see this. But again, yes, but
When did you?
there's an upgrade on all the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something. Yeah, and then if you do the bottom lines. So it's top of that.
To me. It's fine.
So say.
So it's not. It's saying what's the most. That's not in the next right, so it's fine for loading.
Some questions? Yeah.
I was trying to get the audience.
Yes, that's how it is. That's got very extensive.
And it's not the name of the that's lifestyle.
Yeah, I was able to get the.
And playing around with the parameters to get different masking and things like that. Still learning. Yeah.
I issue like.
When it first rushed, it's like. I think it's asking now.
This is for example, because I was running it on the.
Or maybe it come up. Yeah.
If you have a second.
That's
So
just.
it can be meetings, change that, extension.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Since on the other side spaces that.
He's gonna, this is different.
Did you put a soft panel in here as well? Because otherwise it's just gonna.
That might be
everything to think about.
No.
Yeah. It's got new code.
And it's not installed, it's planning it. Is it installed in there? Yes.
You want to be there. Be there. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or just-
I think it's.
Yeah.
He just, so I joined the SPM. There's also one.
After the time.
So for those of you that haven't got enough books, I'm going to try and find out.
This is the one. It's like that.
We should be using the SPM files that white days.
Yeah,
Because. Is in fashion. He can download the PowerShell. But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has other extension. Because I did it. So I was getting annoyed between switching between two different. Yes.
yeah.
No.
Right. So we can show what's on this. Maybe this is,
Like, you do it, I have to do it for a second.
So once it's processed, you should get something that looks kind of like this, where you have your processed images in a folder. We'll have masks, which are labeled, the number of masks that we have. Can also generate, it's worked, a trace of the DNA molecule. So in this case, our research is focused on the DNA, so it'll generate a trace that goes around the DNA molecule. And the really nice thing is with this is that we can generate a lot of statistics. So if you go into brain statistics, it generates a big CSV file, and every single mask that you had in each of your images has a line on here now with its statistics. So you can get the mean, max, min, height, you've got the volume, the areas, the smallest bounding area, the radiuses, the ferrite diameters for every single one of your masks. So if you had hundreds of images, each with hundreds of molecules in them, you now have hundreds of thousands of data files, or sorry, data points that you can then use to generate statistics in a very, well, once it's installed, quite fast way. Because it takes 10 minutes to maybe process 100 images, but then you have all of those statistics straight away.
So it's an art.
So, are there any final questions specifically about this? Okay. So we're pretty much done now. Whenever you want to be done. So if you want to keep playing around with it, you can do. We can have an extra 10 minutes lunch.
I'll go back to the user slide, like after.
Yeah.
So that extends when you get closer to start.
The top.
The first one is up on it's not. Oh, as you come to quite the function.
As a point.
So I don't know, like.
This is also one of the machines, so it's like.
So we should be. So is it going to create
You're right, yeah, should say. Put it in the comment file.
Yeah, it's that's for us.
It's nice to
Let me do it. No, it's fine, it's like.
yeah, but I do still like
They don't say anything. We need. But you need to know. It's
Yeah.